Hello everybody! Hello class! This is your teacher Ames. Our lesson in this video tutorial is all about biotic and abiotic components of an ecosystem. But before we proceed, let us have first a recap on our previous lesson. We learned about the different biological levels which are arranged in a unique and complex hierarchical organization. Okay, and now let us proceed to our new lesson and allow me to present you our objectives for the entire video tutorial. At the end of this video tutorial, you should be able to first define biotic and abiotic components of an ecosystem and identify the biotic and abiotic components of an ecosystem. So, I want you to get your science activity notebook, answer the activities in the middle part and end part of this video, and write down all the important concepts about biotic and abiotic components of an ecosystem. Are you ready? Alright, the first question is, what is an ecosystem? Ecosystem is the community of living things interacting with its non-living environment. Branch of science that deals with the study of organisms and how they interact with their environment around them is called ecology. Organisms have basic needs such as food and shelter. However, food and shelter is not enough to support life. Living organisms need other things like water and air to survive. Organisms are affected by the different components of an ecosystem. Ecosystem has two components, the biotic and abiotic component. The word bio from biotic comes from Greek word bios, which means life. Literally means living organisms. Biotic components includes all living organisms found in an ecosystem. Biotic components includes producers such as plants, consumers such as animals, decomposers such as bacteria, fungi. Abiotic components of ecosystem. A means without, and bio means life. Literally means without life. The abiotic components are non-living components or the physical and chemical aspects of an ecosystem. Abiotic components includes air, water, sunlight, temperature, and soil. These abiotic components have important roles in the survival of all living organisms in an ecosystem. Now we have an activity. I want you to get your science activity notebook. You are going to identify the biotic and abiotic components of an ecosystem. Are you ready? Alright, you start. Take a look at this picture. What are the different biotic components that can you identify? Okay class, write down all the possible answers that corresponds to biotic components of an ecosystem. Write as many answers as you can. I will give you 1 minute to answer this activity. Are you all done? Alright, let us check your answer. The answers are trees, flowers, frog, fish, bird, cow, goat, horse, turtle, duck, and butterfly. Did you get all the correct answers? Very good. And now, you are going to identify the abiotic components of an ecosystem. Okay, write as many as you can. Write all the abiotic components that you can see in this picture. I will give you 1 minute to answer this activity. Okay, let us check your answers. The different abiotic components that can be found in this picture are the sun, clouds, water, mountain, rock, air, and temperature. Did you get the correct answers? Very good. And now let's proceed. The biotic and abiotic components of an ecosystem work hand in hand and interact with each other to maintain balance in our environment. Without the abiotic components, living things cannot survive. Organisms both depend on biotic and abiotic factors in the environment. The light coming from the sun is important to plants, to them to make their own food, through the process called photosynthesis. The sun plays an important role in the production of oxygen. Air contains oxygen that is produced by plants and trees, which allows animals to breathe. Humans, plants, and animals would not be able to survive without air. The sun also plays an important role in the regulation of temperature. Temperature is important for the proper growth of plants as well as animals. All plants and animals survive between a minimum or maximum amount of temperature. Will a caribou survive in a polar region? If your answer is no, then you are right. It will never survive because the polar region lacks abiotic factors that are needed by the caribou to survive, like the temperature in a tropical area. Animals such as rabbit, cow, and goat and the like eat plants to get energy. Humans also eat plants and animals to obtain energy. Plant needs nutrients and other minerals from the soil for them to grow. As a member of your community, I believe that you can do it. You should be a leader in protecting and conserving the natural resources that you have. And you should encourage community participation and initiative in environmental and ecological movements and actions for sustainable goal and development. Before we end our video tutorial, let me give you the last part of the activity for this lesson. I want you to define the following terms: ecosystem, biotic, and abiotic components of an ecosystem. I want you to get your science activity notebook and write down all the possible answers, all your thoughts about what you have learned from the lesson about these three terms. ecosystem, biotic, and abiotic components of an ecosystem. I will give you 2 minutes to finish answering the activity. Are you all done? Very good. Now let us define the following terms one by one. First, ecosystem. An ecosystem is made up of biotic and abiotic components that work together to maintain balance. The abiotic components are non-living components or the physical or chemical components of an ecosystem such as sun, water, air, weather, rocks, and soil, whereas the biotic components are living components of an ecosystem such as plants, animals, and bacteria. That will be the end of our video tutorial for this lesson, Biotic and Abiotic Components of an Ecosystem. I hope that you've learned a lot about this lesson. See you on our next video tutorial. Stay safe, stay healthy, and God bless us all. Thank you.